Talk about all things life, business, health, relationships. We're going to go ahead and officially get started, you guys. Welcome. Happy December 27th. Hopefully, you guys had an amazing Christmas, amazing time with your family, an amazing time just reflecting. Listen, I'm not much of a chef. However, when it comes to Christmas time, I want to bring some nostalgia back into my home. And I remember growing up and going into my Grandma Flo's house, and that's my Italian side of the family. And Grandma Flo was the saint of a woman, literally a saint of a woman. Never bought any grandchild a toy. Every single kid got a wrapped gift box of clothes from Kmart, and bless my grandma's heart. And you'd walk in, and next to the couches that had this floral print on them was a little bowl of these hard candies that you would take the top off. It was a glass little bowl, and it had these little there were lemons. They were shaped as a lemon, and maybe your grandma had those. And you'd sit there and you'd eat. And then she had this lamp. Back in the days, it was the coolest thing. I remember being like 8, 7 years old, and you would touch it and it would turn on. You would touch it again, it would turn brighter. You would touch it one more time, get really bright, and then you would touch it and it would turn off. And it was like the coolest thing. And my grandfather would sit at the end of this big long table. And I remember being able to finally sit at the table. And I'm talking homemade lasagna, homemade meatballs, and like the sound of Frank Sinatra playing, and aunts and uncles. And my grandma had this big old thing on the wall of everyone's baby spoons. I don't know if your grandmas did that, but my grandma collected everyone's baby spoons. And it was just, I remember like walking in, and like it was so special being at grandma's house, and I'd put the olives on my fingers, and it was just cool hanging out with all my cousins. I remember my cousin Brian fell off the wall outside, and then he busted his head and had to get stitches on Christmas Day. But the reason I'm sharing this with you, because it was a moment of nostalgia, and always is every year. I want to recreate the smell of my grandma's house, the smell of garlic, the smell of the tomatoes, the smell of the fresh Parmesan cheese. Like I wanted to recreate that, and the smell of the breadcrumbs, and like the feeling. And so every year I do Italian food for the family. Now, obviously, we want to eat and we all want to fill our bellies, but I want to recapture that nostalgia and go back to that time of my life when, all the family came together. Now I'm recreating that for my family. And so it was a really, really amazing day. My mom was here, Lily was here. I've shared that story with you. My mother-in-law was here. And it was just us. And Larissa and her new boyfriend were here, and Kai, and it was just really cool to have everybody under the same roof. And I absolutely, absolutely crushed it this year on the Italian food. Meatballs, probably the best recipe that I've ever made, or best batch I've ever made. The baked ziti, everything was really, really amazing. So just want to share that moment of nostalgia with you, because we were able to recapture that, and our bellies have been full ever since. I might eat one more plate of pasta, but I'm really, really excited about this year. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But you guys, just want to share that sentiment with you. I'm going to go over to, let's see, who do I have? Chicken Mom, it's been a while. And I want to encourage everybody, Morgan, Jessica, Antu, Dominique, Michelle, Jakara, Macintosh, Angelica Franco. I want to encourage you guys to get your cameras on, be here, be in this moment. Brianna, Chicken Mom, yes, son. Okay, go ask mom. Okay. She's in the office. Okay. Anyways, Chicken Mom, I'm gonna have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful, amazing December 27th. Let's go. You have to find the mute button first. If this doesn't happen,
My phone's frozen.
There we go.
Well, I'm in the middle of writing a text message to get my clients that we've been looking at in Stockton in contract. Fingers crossed.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So I'm feeling super motivated. Had an amazing holiday with my family, and things are just going great. I'm ready for 2025 and motivated. No resolutions over here because we started 2025 like 3 weeks ago.
Right. That's right.
And it's going to be amazing. I'm excited. So let's go.
Well, I'm excited for
Right.
you. Keep us posted on this win. I want to celebrate it. I want to know all about it. If you have any challenges that you feel we can help with, please let me know. Before we get this ball rolling, I wanted to pass it over to Kyrell. Kyrell, I really appreciate your backstory. We don't need to share all of the details of your backstory here, but you recently got into contract. This is your first official contract with us as a realtor. So tell us about this deal. You got into contract on Christmas Day. So sending you love, light, positive energy, my man. So tell us a little bit about this deal and congratulations to you. And then we'll get into the sentiment for the morning.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Definitely joining the team. I noticed, a huge shift in my motivation and just my daily outputs, just staying disciplined and things like that. So I definitely got to appreciate you and the team for that. Um, as far as, this deal, it was definitely a tough one. We submitted an offer and, you know, they came back, they were giving me a hard time as far as covering the buyer's agent commission fee and things like that. So they wanted 515 and they was going to cover it. However, after numerous amount of times of negotiations, calling her up and things like that, we ended up getting it under contract for $50,000 less, and they covered the agent fee. So
Wow, man, I absolutely love this. And what's one thing you learned about yourself throughout this process? Obviously, you are a self-aware man. You are a very, in tune person. But what's one thing that you've learned about yourself through this process?
one thing that I've learned is that I I go hard for my clients. Like, like as far as like the negotiate, like we were so far off that I didn't like she was feeling doubtful that she wasn't going to be able to secure this opportunity, and she really wanted it that bad. However, got her to come up a little bit. She wanted to come in at like 400, so got her to come up a little bit, and I just kept pounding the listing agent, just kept pounding her, pounding her, pounding her, and we ended up getting to the contract. So definitely disciplined on that, and I go hard for my clients.
Listen, you guys, I want you to write that down for everybody in the back of the room. Go hard for your clients, okay? No matter where you are, go hard for your clients, no matter what. So, congratulations to you, Kyrell. Congratulations to your consumer. And I absolutely love this. You guys, we are about to turn the calendar. Now, obviously, we're going to have another session before we actually get to the new year to really ring in this new year and just, really have that momentum. But I got a gift for Christmas and I'm beyond excited about this gift. Now, I'm a very, very simple man. I ask for records. Now, I got the new Her album, which you can see that. It's cool, it's gold plated, and it's a really powerful record. But most importantly, I got this book, and it's called Limitless Expanded Edition. Upgrade your brain, learn anything faster, and unlock your exceptional life. Now, obviously, I'm a reader. I am also a listener, but I want to encourage us all as we start the new year, as we go into the new year. Do you have it, Sarah? Okay, cool. In a moment, I'm gonna have you take yourself off of mute. So, Focus and Fire, Min had talked about this. So he's like, what changed my life this year were two things: Neurogum and then this book. Okay. And so, what I want you guys to do, what about the gum? I personally like it. It's my day two taking it. I didn't have coffee this morning, which I naturally wake up with a little bit of energy just as a human being, but it's good so far. But I promise you this book is going to help us all get in tune with a few different things in the way that we learn. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. The reason why this is important is because everything, when you measure your success, the challenges that you have, and everything that you want to accomplish in 2025, it's measured by this, right? And what I mean by that is what's between the ears. Everything that you want to accomplish and everything that is standing in your way in life, business, health, and relationships is all up here. I think that we do a really good job here with the emotional acuity. I think that this group has really excelled in emotional acuity, emotional awareness, EQ. I think that there's no other group in the industry that has more EQ than this group. And I'm going to own that. And I will say that until, till the end of my days. Well, what I want to do is I want us all to start to read this book. Now we're going to dive into it. We're going to start doing some of the workbooks in here. We're going to start doing some of the lessons in here. And I promise you, this is going to be something that's going to help you elevate. Now, you also have to make time for that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that right now. As you go into 2025, you guys are wanting to learn, you're wanting to grow. We've talked a lot about the habits, the behaviors, the activities, the things that are going to move the needle in your business. But when is that time going to happen that you're actually filling your own cup, that you are mindful and you have intention about reading, about listening, about writing, all the things that we know are going to feed our own mind in order for us to grow. So moving forward, every single morning, you guys, I get up at 5 a.m. every single morning. So from 6 to 6:45 is my morning reading time, no matter what. That is reading here, that is reading industry articles, and that's making sure that I sit down, I take some notes. My house is quiet at that time, right? I have my flow, but it's not always reading in the morning. Sometimes it's writing, sometimes it's listening. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have that time scheduled in my calendar, no matter what. And I want to encourage that for you guys. As we're growing and as we're developing new, habits and new skills in 2025, you have to be very mindful with the time that you're actually working out your mind, right? We're going to go to the gym, we're going to do all these things, but your mental fitness is equally as important. So Sarah, before we get rolling, I want to ask you, have you started to dive into the book yet? Hey, buddy. Go ahead, Sarah.
No, not yet. I ordered that the day of when we had the not mastermind, I'm sorry, whatever it was called at the office. And then I also got the 10x is easier than 2x book. So yeah, I think I'm supposed to do the same thing. I mean, I wake up very early too, and going to my phone, I noticed that I literally just waste time fiddling on my phone, which is frustrating to me because I feel like there's so much more that can be done with that time. So if I put away the morning time with the book, I mean, it sounds like a great idea. So
yeah, and listen, you guys, give yourself a little time to putter in the morning, right? Get up, have your coffee. Like, don't just wake up and think you're going to go right to a book. I don't think that's realistic, right? Your body's still waking up. So give yourself some time to putter in the morning, drink a little bit of coffee, put the news on for background noise or whatever you do. But then I replace my scrolling on Instagram time with reading this morning. And I always scroll in the morning. That's my time. I'm like, let me start filling up my storyline early in the morning. So why I'm saying this to you is because I want to be super mindful of what we are doing with our educational time every single day. And I have some notes here that I want to share with you guys and have a stream of consciousness on this conversation this morning. So Albert Einstein once said that no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. And I want you guys to stay with that quote for a second. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Now, before I go into my interpretation of that, Oliver, when you hear that quote from Albert Einstein, where does your mind go? Tell me how you interpret that quote from Albert Einstein. I'll say it one more time. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it.
Yeah, no, I love that. To me, it's like basically you have to level up, and the person that you're trying to be in the future, you basically, I don't want to say kill the person you're right now, but you have to become someone else to level up to, to what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. That if I'm looking at becoming a better person, becoming a different person, then what am I doing to raise my own level of consciousness? And now a lot of us, we have this internal voice, right? And we have these internal thoughts, and then they become our external messaging, right? Like I have this internal voice that I'm not good with money. I'm not a good reader. And then I say, oh, I'm not a good reader. Oh, I'm not good with money. And so you give truth to the words that you actually are saying and what you're actually feeling inside. But here's the thing. If you're a person that says, man, I struggle with my budget. I struggle with money. I'm sick of being broke. Okay, cool. I get that. And I understand that. Well, what are you doing to learn about money at the highest level? What are you doing to read about money, to study, to listen to podcasts, to do your budgeting, to set your finances? Like, what are you doing to change that thought and say, okay, I'm going to get better at my finances, right? I'm not really a good reader, right? I don't like reading. Why? You probably read a bunch of shit in school that you didn't really like to read. They probably taught you a lot of stuff that you really didn't connect with, or you challenged what you were being taught and you didn't really like it because it wasn't congruent with what you wanted to think and feel as a human being. So when I say this, fill your mind and fill your cup with things that you get to read, that you get to advance your knowledge, that you get to dive into neuroscience and psychology, because everything that we do in this business is going to be rooted in neuroscience and psychology. So I want to share a couple things with you guys. And this is literally me just tapping into this book. But as you can see, I'm very, very excited about this. Our capacity to learn is limitless. Upgrade your mind, upgrade your capacity, how you learn, and how you retain information. This is why being mindful with the amount of time that you're going to actually spend with reading, shutting everybody out. Like, this is mommy time, this is daddy time. Like, my wife was coming up here earlier because she wanted to take pictures with the neurogum. I'm like, babe, you're chewing your gum in my ear. I'm reading, I'm getting ready. Like, let me have my time, right? But I'm super, super mindful of it. And I wanted to share this with you. It said, unlimiting, the act or process of casting aside inaccurate or restrictive perceptions of one's potential and embracing the reality that with the right mindset, motivation, and methods, there are no limitations. And I want to share that one more time. The unlimiting, the act or process of casting aside inaccurate or restrictive perceptions of one's potential and embracing the reality that with the right mindset, motivation, and methods, there are no limitations. When you look at your life right now and the way you think, the way that you view your success, the success that you deserve, or maybe you feel you don't deserve, whatever it is, the body that you truly, truly want to have, the things that you want to achieve, the impact that you want to have, like, there might be some things right now in your thinking that are truly, truly holding you back. And I've been there before. I have been there before, that I was a victim of my own thoughts. And until I was able to realize that and say, you know what, hold on a second, I'm in control of this vessel. I'm the captain of this ship. Then I was really able to reach levels of success that I had never even thought that was possible. So I want you guys to think about this. There's perceived restrictions. Your internal voice becomes your external voice and actions. Being limitless is not being perfect. It's about progressing beyond what you currently believe is possible. How many of you are achieving something that maybe at one time you never thought was possible? And I'll raise my own hand, right? How many of you are becoming a person that you've never known, right? Like, I'm becoming somebody at 45 years old that I'm really, really proud of. Right? I didn't always know this person. There was a time where I didn't know discipline. I didn't know mental conditioning. I didn't know consistency. I didn't know these things. I didn't have book smarts. I had street smarts. Right? And so there's things that I've learned that despite my environment, despite how I came up, despite drug addiction in my family and personal addiction, I was able to, because of what's in here, been able to rise above any of that. And I'll share this with you. Each of us have learned limitations from society, from family, from culture, from environment, from life experiences, that if you learn them, then you can unlearn them as well. Now, respect our family, respect the people in our lives, but there's some people that do not get your success. They just don't understand it. Why would you be an entrepreneur? Go get yourself a 9-to-5, work until you're 65 years old, right? American dream. That's not a dream. That's a death sentence to me. That's a prison sentence, right? Being able to have free thought and free choice is why I do this business. I want to be able to choose the things that I want to do every single day, and I get to. Limits. There's a limit on our mindset. You entertain a low self-belief in, a low belief in self, your capabilities, what you deserve, or what is possible. A limit could be in your motivation. You lack the drive, purpose, and energy to take action. And there also could be a limit on your methods. You were taught and you were acting on a process that is not effective to create the results you deserve. So when you look at your life right now and you look at the limits that you are setting upon yourself, it's going to be broken into someone mute themselves. Whoever that is. Morgan, thank you. The baby is adorable though. There's either a limit on your mindset there's a limit on your motivation, or there's a limit on the methods that are the vessel for you to have the things that you truly, truly want. And I look at this and why neuroscience and psychology is going to be so important in 2025 is that you have to look at the program that you're currently operating on, the software that you are currently operating on. And for a lot of us, it's time for a fucking upgrade. It's time for some new software. It's time to reprogram that. Go get a new computer, hit reboot, hit restart. And now you're going to put things into your mind as a mechanism that are going to help you to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Because every single thing that you have and do not have in your life right now exists right here. I promise you. I promise you. And it goes for me. There's tons of stuff that I still want and I don't have. There's tons of things that I want to achieve that I have not achieved. There's tons of money that I need to make that I don't have currently. But I know where I'm at, what my thoughts are, and how I'm going to get there. And I think that's why this book is going to be super, super powerful as we go into the new year. And maybe it's not that book. Maybe it's another book on neuroscience or psychology, so on and so forth. But I want to open up with that sentiment. Obviously, I'm hot on the trail of this. I'm excited about this, but I wanted to share that with you guys and see if you had any thoughts or any sentiment on the subject. I know it's deep. I know it's profound. I want to ask you guys, do you have any thoughts, ideas, contributions, or insights on what has been shared thus far? Please grab the mic, and God bless you, Brandy. Let's go to George, and anybody else that wants to get involved in this conversation would love to hear your contributions. All right, George, let's hit him. George, bro, I'm going to tell you this straight up as your homie that's known you for a while. You're looking lean.
Thank you.
Like your neck, your face, you're looking lean, bro.
Thank you. I already told my videographer February, get ready. We're taking all new headshots.
Yeah, bro, you can see it, man. Congrats. But yeah, share with me your thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah, so I feel like honestly, I've been just reflecting the last few days, and actually since Focus Fire and like Raquel's VIP day, I feel like one of the biggest lessons that I got that week, and it's kind of been sitting on my shoulders, is just kind of how much growth I've done in the past year, and just looking at it, but also taking a step back and realizing too, there's also times where I do hold myself back because I do get in my head. And I think that week, one of the things that really kept popping up at all three sessions I went to, like our June session, Focus and Fire, and Raquel's VIP day, was eliminating toxic people from your life. And I think it just kind of sat on my shoulders because I thought of like certain individuals, and unfortunately, just because like you're like, damn, I love that person so much, I care for them. Sometimes you just have to make like decisions on where you want to be, and it's okay that you can love people from a distance. And sometimes some people don't go with you in the next chapter of your life. Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. Oh shit, I did not expect that. But yeah, so I just feel like I'm having to make some tough decisions, and it is hard, but obviously you have to make them for yourself. Did not mean to start crying.
George, and it's okay, man. Yeah. That's why we're here. But George, is the emotion coming from because you feel like you'll miss that person, you've had great times with that person?
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I think sometimes you do have to put yourself first, and not like it's like no matter how much you love people, sometimes you have to make tough decisions and unfortunately close the chapter on certain relationships even though you don't want to. But sometimes you do have to choose yourself first and realize some people are not meant to go to every chapter of your life with you, no matter how much you think they are. And that can be like friends, family, like any type of relationship. But I think one of the biggest things that I learned this year was it's okay to put yourself first and not to feel guilty. And I think I've spent a lot of my life feeling guilty, or a lot of months and years feeling guilty and trying to take care of other people without realizing that I need to take care of myself first. And you can only do so much to help someone. If they don't want to help themselves, then unfortunately, you have to be selfish in that moment and realize like you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped.
That's right. Man, George, love and light to you, man. I really appreciate you sharing this. And for a lot of us, think about detoxing, and maybe it's alcohol. Okay. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it is sugar. Maybe it's people, right? Maybe it's people. And you have to look at your life and you have to analyze this. And Min talked a lot about that at Focus and Fire and say, what is no longer serving me, right? There might be something that you're eating or might be somebody you're hanging out with that is no longer serving you. And so when we think that about limits, that's why this book is amazing. When you think about limits, there may be people that are limiting you. There also may be thoughts and behaviors that are limiting you, and there may be processes that are limiting you that are not serving. So George, man, I really appreciate it. I'm glad I still am in your phone and you're still here, so I'm not one of those people. Thank you for keeping me around. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go over to Jakara Miller.
Love you too.
Jakara, I gotta send you some love and light and positive energy as well. Loved your last video that you did. It's good seeing you out there creating content. You have such an amazing light. Let's continue on that course, and I promise you amazing things will come from it. Let's go, Jakara, you're up next, and Evangeline, you're on deck. Let's go.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So just speaking of like mental conditioning, because like I'm a huge believer in that. There's actually a book that I used to read, like I read it probably like 3 times. I'm actually about to start reading it again, just to like re-motivate myself and like recondition myself again. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And granted, like I just wanted to share this with you guys just because like this book is not just about like, oh, like making money. It's literally just about reprogramming like your deepest roots from like trauma, like relationships. Like it goes deep. And it reflected when I did it. Like I think I was like 18 when I first read it. I just wanted to quickly share this, I'm gonna get off. But I read it when I was like 18. And I've always like struggled with like finances, like as a kid, just like in general. But I've always like worked. But at that time, like I was like, why can't I keep like $1,000 in my wallet, like at all, or like any money at all? But as soon as that was my first time reading the book, I got done reading it. The next week, I kid you not, I had like $4,000 in my account. Mind you, I'm like 18, and I was like a kid. And I was like, why, how did this happen? And I literally couldn't like think about it, but I was like like I was digging out all of my roots, like my trauma roots, like all my beliefs, like all of that type of stuff. So it's like a bomb book, and I think that all you should read it. It's really good. It's by
Can you say the title again?
yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat too. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Nice.
But yeah, that book is really good just because I believe in like mental conditioning.
I love this. I love it.
A lot of different things.
Good stuff. Yeah, I love the book recommendation. And let me ask a question off of this, and just be honest with me. And Evangeline, you'll be up next, and Princess, you'll be after that. How many parents on this call? How many of your parents taught you about financing, about savings, about all of that stuff? Because mine didn't. You know, my parents taught me. They just taught me the hustle. They taught me the grind. They taught me how to not have money. They taught me nothing about like saving it and like planning and looking at invest. My family didn't teach me that. So what was I taught? I was taught the week to week, the paycheck to paycheck. And so what we have to do is we have to reteach ourselves, unlearn, relearn new things that are going to catapult our life and business forward. And so that's why I never went to college. This is my college, right? You are my college. This is me advancing my skills and my education through human development, right? Human development and communication. If I had to like categorize what my specialty would be human development and communication. But that's all been learned on my own and from seminars and events and stuff like this. And so, you know, a lot of the stuff that I learned growing up didn't serve me. So I had to unlearn it and learn new pathways. And so, Jakara, I really appreciate it. There's also a really good book out there that was written in the 40s and 50s, I think. I've mentioned it before. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. And there's a new remastered version of it. The new Psycho-Cybernetics teaches you that your mind is a mechanism and you're the one responsible for the software that you put into your mind. So really, really powerful book. Jakara, appreciate your contribution. Let's go, Evangeline. Let's go to you and then Princess, and then we'll go, I think that's Cynthia and then Otis. Let's go, Evangeline.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I've said this before, but I think it goes back to like perception is reality. And if you start moving at a higher frequency things come your way, whether that be business, money, whatever it is. But whatever breakthroughs you have to do in order to get to the goal, sometimes it's just looking at a different lens. And something in particular that I've been executing is we keep hearing this word discipline, 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 especially going into 2025. And I think the thing with discipline is like if you have an off day due to things beyond yourself, health, this, that, the other, are you all of a sudden not disciplined, right? And it's kind of giving rigidity and military. I've shifted my mindset recently to devotion, being devoted to your business, devoted and honoring your body to your fitness goals, devoted to giving yourself a better life and your family a better life. And I found that that's an easier framework to execute because it's operating with love instead of rigidity. So that's just something I wanted to share to the
No,
conversation.
but I mean, this is a really, really good example of when we're talking about neuroscience, we're talking about psychology. In order for her to feel really, really excited about the discipline, she programmed her mind to think about it in a way that's different. Like devotion for her is rooted in love and it's probably rooted in faith. And I'm not talking about religion. But the fact that you just said that demonstrates the conversation that we're talking about right now. She programmed her mind in a way to say, you know what? I'm devoted to this. And it's going to show up in the way that I perform, my behaviors, my habits. It's going to show up. If I'm truly devoted to living a healthy lifestyle, then I'm going to make sure I'm watching what I eat. I'm going to make sure that I'm working on my fitness. I'm tracking my steps, all these things, because I'm truly, truly devoted to it. And you could think about discipline and you could think about it as consistency in the same breath, right? And I saw this thing here earlier and it said, in the short term, you're as good as your intensity. In the long term, you're as good as your consistency. And I believe that the consistency is rooted in discipline. The discipline may be rooted in devotion, however way you want to look at it. But I think that's a really powerful way to look at it. I've never heard it articulated that way. And I really, really love that. So I appreciate you sharing, Evangeline. And hopefully we could say hi to our new Team Fast baby today. So Princess, let's go to you. Really, really good stuff. God, that was great. Princess, let's hear from you.
Good morning, guys. So I had to run and open a door for Brittany, and let some inspectors in. But for me, the message really, this year has just been a lot of growth. And I never thought I would be this person. Growing up, I was a shy kid. You come and talk to me, I'd be putting my hand in my face and like tracing my hand, but really having to grow into somebody that you don't know. And I've seen that so much this year, and being with everybody and just hearing everybody's story and knowing that I can relate to everyone on this call and knowing that I have the support. It's just been truly like the highlight of my year, just the growth and the personal growth that I've gone through and the challenges and the drunk monkeys and everything. But yeah, like that just hit home for me when we shared that, because like you're literally growing into somebody that you don't know, with somebody that doesn't have this background at all. So I'm just truly grateful for that.
Yeah, and you know what, Princess, we've seen it. I've seen it, firsthand as your coach. We've seen it as a collective, as a community. And so really, really powerful to see that. And a lot of you have been introverts, right? Not saying that you have to be this boisterous extrovert in order to be successful. However, there is a level of shyness that you may need to overcome, such as on these calls, such as Brianna Tejeda hating to public speak, and I pushed her in the limelight. There's so much of us that we think that that's our identity, right? And we say, oh, I'm shy, I'm shy. So what happens? I act as a shy person. No, when I start to get myself in environments like this and start to grow, now look at Princess. She's no longer hiding behind her hands. She's out here speaking her truth, doing her hair, dropping it like it's hot at the Christmas party, doing all the things that she's doing. We see you, Princess. So I absolutely love this. Let's go over to Cynthia and rapid fire. Cynthia, thoughts, sentiment on the topic of neuroscience, what I just shared, and then we're going to go over to Otis because I'm sure he has something as well on this.
Well, So I'm first of all, I want to tap into I have a visitor. So I'm out of town. I'm here visiting my family. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. This is say hi to my grandson,
Hi,
Xavier.
Bubba. Wow, what a handsome little dude.
So, so being here, I was tapping in on the subject of what did your parents teach you about money? My parents taught me indirectly, so there was, it was some sit down and, this is how you balance a checkbook and, just the basic stuff. But I feel like how could they teach what they don't know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they did the typical stuff, bought a house and, all of that kind of stuff, but they didn't really know about investing and whatnot. So I started working at 17 at PG&E, which brought in, some pretty decent money for me. And I started to learn self-taught. I taught myself about those things, but I taught my daughter, and my daughter is only 26 years old and owns her home free and clear. And, and in teaching her, the greatest gift was last night. I played Monopoly with my 5-year-old grandson. And can I tell you, he beat me 3 times. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm on the right track here.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Well, I'm so glad that you are spending time with the family. I appreciate you contributing. And before we go to Otis, I was thinking somebody put it in the chat, and I saw Jay laughing at it. When I think back of like finances and like street hustle, I remember learning what a key was. A key was 2.2 pounds of marijuana, and I knew where to get it. And then I knew that there were 16 ounces in a pound, and then how to break it down into quarters and dimes. That's how I learned my street smarts. But then I got educated and I got aware as a businessman. And so I learned my acumen from the streets, and then I transferred it over to, legitimate businesses. So I appreciate it. I think Cortez put that down in the chat. But Otis, let's go to you, Big Dog. Let's hear your contribution on these thoughts, neuroscience, psychology, everything that I just shared. Let's go to you, Otis.
I'm in that conversation about popping about them pounds and them ounces. Man, just wanted to talk about and reiterate what you were saying in the beginning, Elias, like personal growth as a man and in business from where you come from. I can relate on so many levels to what you said with dealing with, family drug addictions and stuff. And I've never had an addiction myself like that, or my family and them growing up, but just loving the space that I'm in as a man and as a realtor and just as an entrepreneur. Like obviously, we always say when I first started that first year, that zero taught me so much though about myself, about not giving up. I want to say this is the first time in my life besides sports that I actually really tried in something. You know what I mean? I got my license during COVID and when the world was shut off. So, you know, having to work a non-essential job and doing that all day and just knocking out the courses to where I'm at now, buying my mom a house, generational wealth last year to this year, tearing the Achilles and still having an amazing year. I'm just so proud of myself for not giving up. And I think that that's probably one of my best qualities that I sleep on, that is I'm a fighter and I'll never give up. So the mental clarity, that's why I asked about that gum, because I want to start, really implementing this year of doing all the stuff that I should have been doing or all the stuff that I've been naive or I guess stubborn to do, to throw it back in, I guess, other people's face to say, I don't need to do this and I can still do that. I need to get rid of that mentality. But just looking forward to growing this year and trying all the unexpected things.
Man, I absolutely love this. Absolutely love it. You guys, like I said, a couple months ago, I was diagnosed with kidney disease, and I've been battling with this injury for the last 4 months. And so it made me think about health and life in completely different ways. Well, I thought that I was living super, super healthy. When you do your blood panel, you're going to find out that maybe there's some things that you do not know. And I want to encourage everybody as you're going into the new year to get your blood work done, to just take a look at what's underneath the trunk or underneath the hood, because there might be some things that you don't know. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I've always had a belief that I was pretty healthy and right, I'll eat that, but I'll just go work it out at the gym. Well, I didn't realize the things that I was doing to my own body, and I needed to really take care of myself. And so I just want to show you guys my calendar, because today, at what time is this? So today I don't have many appointments. Today at 12 o'clock, I have a meeting with Max. Max was one of our presenters at Focus and Fire. He's going to be my new nutritionist moving into 2025. So as I'm looking at my life and looking at my health, what I want to do is I want to dive deep into neuroscience, into psychology in 2025, but I also am going to dive way farther into nutrition. I want to understand every single supplement, what is the right mixture and recipe for my body, my type, whatever is going on internally for me. Like, I want to make sure that my nutrition game and my physical fitness game is on a completely different level. Now, many people say I'll go and hire a a personal trainer. And I get that. I'm all for that. But what I want to do is I want to start first. I want to start from the nutritional things. I want to start with the vitamins. I want to start with the supplements. I want to understand nutrition on a level that I've never understood it before. And so that's how I'm going to go into 2025. So we all have an opportunity to say, you know what? Maybe there's an area that I'm not good at. Let's say public speaking. Let's say communication. Let's say whatever it is. If that's what is limiting you, then how do you become limitless? Is you dive into that subject. God, you dive into that subject. I remember when someone taught me about mental conditioning, and I went down that path every single day, every single morning. That's all I ate, slept, and breathed. And then it became a part of my identity that I was able to teach others how to have a fortress of a mindset. Right. And so those things that you were thinking about, you have the ability to change any of that. And I want to encourage you guys to say, okay, maybe there is something. Maybe it's like we said, maybe it's my mindset. Maybe it's my emotions. Maybe it's the belief of self. Maybe it's the limits in my own motivation. And if you're lacking motivation, then you're lacking clarity in your actual purpose of why you're in this business. And then maybe it's a limit in the methods, right? You might say that you're doing all these things. You might be doing all of these things, such as activities, but if you don't have a method of making sure that you're categorizing your leads, organizing your leads, following up with your leads, then you have a method that is limiting your growth. Right. And so you have to think about that. I'm like, shit, I'm doing all these activities. I'm getting shit ton of leads, but they're on a piece of paper and I just washed that piece of paper and now I don't have any of my leads. That is a method that is no longer serving you. So you have to look at these things and say, okay, mindset, motivation, or methods, and say which one of these, if need any help or support or improvement, maybe it's all of them, maybe it's one of them, but you have to analyze it and say, you know what, I'm in control of all of this. And so you guys, we're going to dive deep into this. We're going to be going full tilt into this. Now, mind you, I'm not going to speak about this every single week, but I want to encourage you guys to follow along on this journey, to read this book. And if you're not a reader, then I want to encourage you to be a reader. What I mean by that, if you're the person, I can't stand reading books. Well, put something in front of you that you actually can sit down and be like, wow, I actually like reading. I'm reprogramming my mind to become a reader. So wanted to share those thoughts with you, that sentiment with you guys. You guys, we are days away from the new year. Does anybody have any thoughts, any challenges, any action that they want to share that's working for them right now? Because by now, you guys remember, we had business planning in November. We've had tons of conversations about it here. You guys have gone to masterminds. You guys have wrote. You guys have ordered the big ass calendar. You guys have put stuff into your calendar for 2025. How many of you feel that you are ready to turn the calendar and walk into 2025 with some bravado, with some swag, with some like intention? Are you guys ready? Yeah. Okay, Brandy. I know you are. I see the hands. I see Nicole. Good stuff. Is there anybody right now that maybe wants some clarity, or has some questions about what to do? Maybe you have some thoughts or some ideas that you want to throw that out here. Anybody? Let's go, Kelly. And Kelly, you're home. I think you're still up in Mendocino County. That picture, oh, it's beautiful wherever you are. Take yourself off of mute, though.
Okay, so I have all of that, I live like that. I have that ready, go, 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 go. But the problem is right now switching over from my old brokerage to you guys. And I know it's been the holidays and everything like that. And so, but I need help. I need help with getting my website. I need help with all of the tools that are within the Team Fast. I've heard such great things about them. So yes, I'm a little bit, I'm so excited. I'm ready to freaking go in 25, but I just need some guidance.
All right. So compartmentalize this for me. Let's throw the idea of the website out for just a moment. What exactly do you feel that you need guidance with right now? Is it the tools and the systems that are provided for you by the company?
Yeah, I need to know how to put all of my leads and, get the new CRM going and everything like that. I haven't done anything except,
so let's do this. Why don't you and I grab some coffee, bring your computer, and we're going to do this are you free on Monday the 30th?
Yes.
All right. So after this call, I'll call you. We'll secure something for Monday the 30th. We'll do some lunch. We'll break bread, and I'll help you with any challenges that you have right now.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool.
Thank you.
What else, you guys? What other challenges, limits do you guys have right now that you want to talk about? Because I might not have the answer, but somebody on this call may have an answer. Let's go, Jakara.
It's just a brief question about the Limitless book. So you said follow along, so I'm assuming something similar to like a book club is what I'm gathering.
I would absolutely love that.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, and I'm going to share something with you in a moment that this will be part of what we're going to do, and you'll be forced to follow along, and it's going to lead me into intensity, but hang on a second. But yeah, I would love if you guys follow along. So Cortez, let's go to you, big dog. You're muted.
I just installed that dub integration in the follow-up boss, but it's not working for me. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It keeps saying something is wrong. And then I did a sample video and the sound's not on, but it's telling me my mic's on. So I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to contact Patrick Ignayo. He is our resident dub expert on the team. And he doesn't mind hopping on a call with you either.
All right.
All right, cool. What else, you guys? We're days away from the new year. Do you have any challenges? Are you set? Do you want to reiterate something? Do you need any help with anything? I want you guys to leverage this time because I promise you, we got all kinds. Is that a hand, Lisa, or is that a wave? All right, let's go, Lisa, and then we'll go back up to Jacob Ali because he's between sets. Let's go, Lisa.
So everyone, don't struggle uploading your contacts. Just email it to Follow Up Boss at support@followupboss.com. They'll have it up for you within a day, sometimes hours, sometimes minutes. And then all you do is go in, tag it with Real Scout, highlight everything Real Scout, and just get that going, because I promise you that has been like the biggest shift for me this year, and especially this last week. So I was kind of upset because I haven't had a closing in the last couple months, but I do have I have someone that just got pre-approved with Stephanie this last week. I got 5 requests for home valuations yesterday, and I have an appointment this afternoon. And that's all because of my follow-up boss in Real Scout. So
Go. Yeah, I absolutely love this. For Kelly, I just dropped you in our own admin request form. This is if you have any admin tasks that you need done, you send that to our admin team. Maybe it's upload these 100 contacts into my follow-up boss. They'll do it for you. So a lot of the times we overthink what we can do, and it's relatively very simple. 2 things that we should focus on right now, Kelly: CRM and Real Scout for right now.
Okay.
All right. But I'll hold to our meeting on Monday. Let's go, Jacob. Between sweats too. Yeah. Let's go.
I'm gonna throw myself in the lion's den and be honest. My biggest struggle is probably like the foundational work, like waking up early, going to sleep on time, and like really knowing how to like actually schedule my schedule. So like I really struggle. Like I really want to learn how to like how should I set my mornings, how should I set my afternoons. Like I kind of like just need like a little bit like more structure, I guess.
All right, so there's a book out there. It's called The Miracle Morning. A lot of people have read that book. I think that it's ideal, but you have to look at your life right now, Jacob, and say, okay, a few things that are important to me. Obviously, lead generation, educational time, things like this, and learning and reading, coaching. Obviously, you come to coaching, you're a student in coaching. Your admin time, so you have time to put all of your lead generation cues and tags and things like that. And then last but not least, Jacob, it's me time, right? So you're working on me time right now. You're working on coaching as well as education right now. Your admin time and lead generation are the other things that should be done on a daily basis. And so when you're breaking down your calendar, those are the 5 things that should be on there. Now, other things will develop over time and travel and conferences and things like that, but that still falls under educational. So it's lead generation, it is education, or excuse me, lead generation, education, coaching, admin time, and then me time, right? However you want to go about that, that's what should be on your calendar. So here's what I want to challenge you to do. Build out your ideal calendar. And we're really late in the game. So I want you to do this by tomorrow night. Build out your sample calendar based on those 5 things. And then I want you to share your calendar with me on Google. And then what I'll do is I'll help you refine that. But here's the thing. Don't put shit on your calendar that you do not feel that you're going to stay connected to, right? Put things on your calendar that you feel are going to actually get you to do those things. A lot of times I see calendars and I'm like, all right, cool, let's go back 3 days. Were you able to do that? Oh, no. Then why is it even on your calendar? Did you do that? No. Did you lead gen? Well, no. Then why is it even on your calendar? So set a calendar that's going to allow you to have some flexibility to focus on yourself, but to focus on moving your business forward, organizing your business, learning as you're growing, all those things, man. So 5 categories, build your calendar out, share it with me on Google, on our Team Fast calendar, and then you and I can hop on a call and we'll refine it.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Do that by tomorrow night.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool, you guys. I got something I want to share with you before we head out. And let me pull this up. Now, this is not for everybody, and this is just you guys are the first eyes to see this. Okay, Vernon actually hasn't even seen this. So, if you guys have attended, and Jacob, put your hand down, and Cortez, if you can put your hand down really quick for me, please, and thank you. How many of you have ever done intensity? Accomplished or at least participated? Please raise your hand. Okay, cool. Thank you. We're rolling this out again, you guys. Intensity is going to start on January 10th. January 10th. It's going to be 6 weeks this time. And the reason why is because, just like Jacob was saying, the first week for January 10th to January 17th, we're going to lay out all the metrics, and they're not even on here. I won't even show those to you yet because we're not ready to release those. But we're going to do that. First week is going to be the planning. And what I mean by that is, instead of me saying, here's your metrics, go out and do them, what we need to do, and what I realized through hosting this program for the last 5 times, is that we need to set time aside for you to work with your accountability homie, to put all of these activities into your calendar so you know what days you're dropping the kids off, when you're doing this, when you're doing that. Like, there's a sequence and there's some organization behind your metrics that you need to hit. Then week 2, we actually start doing the metrics. So we're going to do those metrics for 4 weeks, but then on the last week, the 6th week, we're going to do recognition and recapping of all of the sessions. So it's going to be high level intensity, no excuses, results only, no bullshit, results only, no bullshit, and results only. Is that it?
No excuses.
That you guys know what I mean. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that we spend some time planning, spend some time putting it into our calendar, and then we start the session officially. Brianna Zaheda, you had your hand up. Brianna, Chickamon. I lost her.
No hand. I'm fine.
Oh, you're okay, cool. So here's what I want to do. I want to share this with you guys. And listen, If you've done intensity before, I know the impact that it can have and will have on your business. So I'm going to put this here down in the chat below. Do not sign up if you are not ready to take your business to the next level. Now, if you want to share this with anybody outside of the company, feel free to, but don't tell them that it's free because it's no longer going to be free. So for anybody that is joining Intensity that is other than you, so what I am doing is I am now charging people to join Intensity. I am close to finishing my sales page. I'm working with Maria and Roma right now. No excuses, no bullshit, results only. There we go. You can see that some of you will be featured on the sales page. As you can see here, some of your beautiful faces are featured on this sales page. Thank you for making this look so amazing. So the program details will be here. The cost for somebody that is not on the team is $297. For you guys, there is no charge. There's never going to be a charge for coaching. There's never going to be a charge for intensity. There'll only be charges for things that you elect to take part of, such as Play Bigger. There is a fee for that because that is an outside coaching company that I'm affiliated with. Internally, for anything, Keep It Moving, you guys can join at no expense. Now, for anybody else, they're going to be charged $297 because I want them to have skin in the game. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about anything before we close out? No? All right, cool, you guys. Listen, before the end of the year, I am going to see you guys. Let's see where we at today. All right, so it's the 27th today. I will see you guys on Monday of next week on the 30th, and then I will see you on the 3rd. Obviously, we'll be taking the 1st off. You guys can recover from the hangovers that you may or may not have. That's what I have for you guys. Let's go one key takeaway. Let's go Jessica Segura Hernandez, one key takeaway from our time together today. And then Jay, I'm gonna have you close this out, big dog.
I don't necessarily think it's a key takeaway. I'm just excited. I'm excited for next year. Business was a little slow for me because of the holidays, but I'm ready for intensity and I'm just full of excitement.
I love it. I love it. We feel it. Jay, let's go ahead and take us away, big dog. I'm sure this Christmas was super special for you. Having baby boy, first Christmas. Congratulations to you and your little family. One key takeaway from our time together today, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just super.
Turn your mic up a little bit. It's really low.
Oh, wait, where's my? Can you guys hear me?
Still low. Is your thing? I don't see your little.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Oh, sorry.
There it is.
Some belated Christmas, everyone. Thank you. My key takeaway, I think, I'm just super pumped for next year. Same with George. I like what George shared today, and that's something what do you call this? Really, I felt what he said. And yeah, I'm just super pumped for next year. And if anyone needs help for next year, you guys know my information and feel free to reach out.
I love it. You guys grab yourself this book. Get yourself the NeuroGum. Get yourself some OmniBrain, whatever's going to help you stay focused and have clarity in 2025. Kelly Hiltner, I'll give you a call. That way you and I can connect and secure a spot for Monday. But as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and have an amazing, amazing week. Peace.
Peace. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.